Hello guys! Today I'm gonna show you how to solve for surface area and volume. So let's begin. So here we have is this, you might think that this is a shell, right? But to tell you the truth, this is what you call, you see this blue guy that you see here? What do you call it? It's a hemisphere. How can you say that that is a hemisphere? First, a hemisphere is a solid figure that looks like a sphere. Kaya lang, pinaparte nila. Kasi if I were to draw the entire sphere, ganito yun, no? O yan, here's the drawing of the sphere. This thing that you see here is an entire sphere. Tapos this thing that you see here is a hemisphere. Kasi po, it's cut into half, di ba? You notice that it's still the same. Kaya lang what you call this, pinag-arte sila. Even this one, if I were to draw this so I can complete the sphere, yun po, it's still cut. Meron siyang cut dito. So the cut is here. So this part is cut. Kaya actually, that's what you call the hemisphere. Okay? Now, to solve for the surface area of the hemisphere, again, the formula for surface area is still the same. You know the surface area of one sphere is pi r squared of 4. 4 pi r squared of 4. Or 4 pi r squared. Tama? So therefore, you'll have to do 4 times pi r squared. Kaya lang, since it's a hemisphere, and by definition means a hemisphere is a sphere that is cut in half. So therefore, anong gagawin namin? Correct. You have to divide this by 2. So this becomes 2 pi r squared. 2 pi r squared na yan. Kaya lang, here's the catch. Kasi po, remember, when we talk about surface area, it talks about the summation of all the square units of that solid figure. However, di ba remember, pi times r squared, 2 pi r squared pertains to the curved part of the sphere. The one that's from here up to this part. But don't forget, we still have a base now. Kasi po, imagine if the sphere were a hole, look at the figure again, ha? Look, di ba remember this is an entire sphere, di ba? Where is the base? Wala, di ba? Wala ka nakikita na base. Not unlike for this one, the hemisphere, oo, meron siyang base doon sa gitnaan. So, the base circle is at the gitnaan. That's why nga, you might expect that this, di ba remember ito ay 4 pi r squared. 4 pi r squared. Tama? This one here is 2 pi r squared. Because 2 pi r squared pertains to the area of the curved part of the sphere. Kaya lang, since we have the circular part which is in the center, we have another circle. Tsaka if you were to look at the sphere, that's the literal base. It's a circle. It's a circle such that it rotates to form the sphere. Like, di ba remember if you were to, break the earth apart? If you watch that in some YouTube videos in science, you can see that the earth's crust, mantle, and core, they are part of the surface area of the sphere. Di ba? So yun. And this one here is what you call the circle, the one that you see in the interior of the hemisphere. And it's shaped like a circle. So therefore, plus pi r squared. Hence, combining like terms, we should get the total answer of 3 pi r squared. So the formula for solving for the surface area of a hemisphere is always 2 pi r squared plus pi r squared. 2 pi r squared because of the curved points. And then pi r squared because of the circle, the base. You see it now? Now let's solve. We have here a hemisphere whose diameter measures 8 meters. Remember, we need the radius, right? So we have to cut 8 meters to 4. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. So now you get 4 meters, which is your radius, okay? The radius. Now, what is the formula? Ang formula ay pi, di ba remember this is pi, 3.14 times the radius squared, 4 squared, times 2. Di ba? Pi times the radius squared times 2. But actually, it's times 3. Because remember, just what I told you in conclusion, you should get 3. 3 circles. And therefore, the surface area of the sphere is 150.72 square centimeters. Yan, yun ba yung sagot? 150.72 square meters. Now, let's say if you did it this way. Let's say, for example, yung ginawa mo, 3.14 times 4 squared times 4. That will be 200.96. And then divide by 2 becomes this. Then plus 3.14 times 16 times, ano yung, yeah, that's the area of one circle. Tama, you should get the same answer of 150.72 square meters. Okay? You got it. Now, for the volume of the hemisphere, it still has the same function just like the solving for the volume of a sphere. Remember the volume of a sphere? It's like this. See this guy again? We know that the volume of one sphere is pi times radius cube times 4/3. Or 4/3 of pi r cube. Tama? Now, since we have a hemisphere, whatever answer you get here, do you remember when we say volume, it talks about the number of cubic units that would fit inside a solid figure. But since it's a hemisphere, remember pi times r cube times 4 divided by 3 pertains to the volume of one whole sphere that you see here. Kaya lang, since we are getting a hemisphere, we want to get up to this part only. Yung ito, yung tinutukoy ko. Huwag yung ito. So this is the one we're looking for. So therefore, whatever answer you get from the entire thing, you will have to divide it by 2. So it would become like this. Pi r cubed times 4 divided by 3. And then whatever answer you get here, divided by 2. Then we apply reciprocal. Therefore, it will be pi r cubed times 4/3 times 1 over 2. Then we multiply the numbers. Therefore, we should get pi r cubed times 4 divided by 6. You can simplify 4 and 6, make it 2/3 na lang. So that's the formula. Okay? Now going back to our sphere. We have a sphere that measures 8 cubic meters, right? So we want to do this. First, let's convert this into centimeters. You might be wondering why. Kasi po, para mas madali. Because, di ba, remember, kakasabi ko, you might need to convert this into liquefied units. So, you need to convert that to centimeters first. And then, from cubic centimeters, i-convert mo sa milliliters. So, from 8 meters, this will become 800 cm. So, 800 cm na to. Now, what is the formula? 3. Ito yun. The formula is 3.14 times the radius cube. Do I remember the radius cube is 400? Radius is 400. So 400 cube times 4 divided by 3. You should get this answer of 267 what? That's a large number to be exact. Pero we still need to divide up that answer by 2. Because since it's a hemisphere, we need to divide this by 2. So dividing it by 2, you should get 133,973,333.333 and a bunch of 3s. So that is the volume of that hemisphere. So ang volume namin ay 133,973,333.3. Okay? Now, to convert that into liquefied units, this is, di ba, remember, this is in cm cube. Di ba? Remember, in cubic centimeters, 1 ml is worth 1 cubic centimeter. So, you're gonna have to change that to milliliters. So, therefore, ito na yung sagot mo. 133,973,333.3 373, something like that. I do not know how to pronounce this number. Milliliters. So, yun lang. If you want to try the alternative formula, pwede pa rin yun. Di ba remember I told you there's a shortcut formula? Ganito yung formula. So therefore, this will be 3.14 times the radius cube, which is 400 cubed, times, di ba remember naka-fraction siya? Times 4 divided by 3 times 2. Di ba normally you have to divide by 2. But you should get the same answers of 133,973,333. Did you get that? And your answer is, we did get the same answer. So therefore, this checks. Thank you, calculator, for solving my problem. Leave a like if you do like this video. Bye!